Hi, welcome back to Mechanic Garage. We're going to get on with it a bit more on the Riga. I've got some parts turned up and the last few bits of assembly, and then see if we can get it running. Right, got the trim. Just need to decide whether to put the split at the back or the front. I think I put it at the back. And try not to scratch the tank. Just get it about halfway. This is a case of feeding it on all the way around. Getting it on nice and tight so it's not saggy. All the same time trying not to scratch the tank by skidding it off and hitting anything or dropping it, because that would really ruin my evening. Hopefully the stickers are going to be here soon. I can get them on as well. I've put a wanted out on a couple of the groups for a chain guard. I'm not holding my breath because there's not very many stroke any of these in the UK, let alone parts. Might be somebody's got one laying around somewhere. If you are and you're watching this, let me know. I need a chain guard, a later one that covers up both chains, big triangle-y thing. I've seen a few that have just got a single guard over the top on the earlier ones. That was an option, but I can't really get it to sit properly. I tried with a bit of plastic angle-y stuff. Right, just need to trim this. Try and get the angle of it right. It's a problem, it's got metal in it, goes all a bit squiffy when you stretch it. There you go, get that bit of metal out. There you go, perfect. Perfect join at the back. Right, let's get it, make sure it's all pressed on and then get it on the bike. Right, get this bracket off to start with. I'll have to see how long the bolts need to be. And cut them down. I'm hoping that this edge is going to fit in here nicely. Oh, and it does. Great. That's good. And then the rear one clamps down and holds it in. Right, hopefully that'll stay there whilst I get these bolts sorted. No, it's not going to do. Don't fall off. Don't fall off. Right, okay, so they need to be about 20mm long. Okay, I'll just go and get them cut. Right, that's the bolts cut down. So now if I tuck that into there, get this clamp on. It's not the best clamp in the world. Now I've looked at it properly. It looks like a bit of a either repaired original one or a homemade one, but it'll work. So hope these aren't too short. No, they're fine. That's nice, clamping down on the rubber nut on the tank. As in not on the scratchy paint, so I'm not going to scratch the paint. There you go. Fuel pipe. I can cut that down a bit now. It's a bit too long. Didn't know how long it was going to be. So. Yeah, how do you get? I'll do. Probably could have done with trimming the other end a bit. Might need a new one now, that might be too short. No, that's fine, that's tighter, that's better. Next thing, tank stickers. Just give it a quick degrease. It's oily fingerprints. Now I've had a look on various photos and I'm struggling to see any that are 100% original, but general sort of opinion is that they fit just after the tank sort of, sorry, the fuel tap in line with the rubber, which is about halfway in line with the cap. So that's pretty much what I'm going to do. The shadows aren't great. Good news is, if I make a mess of it, I've got another 30 of them. Don't stick. So halfway up the fuel tank, about 12mm up the tank. I have to apologise for the heavy breathing. I noticed I've just watched the other half of the video back. It's all you can hear. It's like some 80s phone call. There you go. Dead easy and perfect. That edge there, halfway up in there. I'll do the other side now. I also managed to find somebody that could possibly supply me a brand new freshly made chain guard. So that's something that would make a big difference how it looks. That's ridiculously easy. So I've now got, quick maths, what's 9 4s? 36, so I've still got 34 of these left. So if anybody needs any, I've got 34 of these stickers. But having said that, if the tank reacts with petrol and I have to respray it, I've got spares. That makes a big difference. That's ridiculous how much of a difference it makes. I think some of them were actually chrome backed, but I don't know whether that was right for this year or what, but a lot of the ones were just white. So to me that looks quite good. I'm happy with that. No idea what I'm going to do with the rest of them. I suspect now is a good time to get some fuel in it and see if she'll run and start again, and see if we can ride it properly now it's all being rebuilt. Right, let's get the petrol in. I've not got a lot, it's already pre-mixed. Just run it through a cloth to filter it because it came out before and there was a little bit of rusty brown to it. I'm hoping that the fuel tap doesn't leak. I know it did a little bit before, but when it was on the on position. It won't need a lot. I don't know which way's which, but if I run it both ways for a little bit, we can get fuel to come through. I've got fuel leaking. Where's that leaking from? Oh, it was working what I was doing. It just seems to have leaked a lot of it. Get that off the frame so I don't strip the paint. Yeah, I think me pressed that down for too long. Right, now if I remember rightly, blank that off for the choke. Something to do that way, wasn't it? Right, last time we tried this, I ended up snapping things, so I'm going to try and do things a little bit more gently. Might be easier bump starting it or pedal starting it. We'll go for that option. That's the way it's supposed to do. Started easier than this the first time. It started easier than this first time I tried it. Right. We've got a wet plug for starters. Yep. Got a wet plug, so we've got fuel. Let's give that a dry off. Need to see if we've got a spark. No, I have no spark. Yeah, I had the engine out, cleaned it all up and everything. I cleaned out in here, so maybe I've disturbed something. Hopefully I've not killed it. One thing I did do was got rid of the wire into the lights, but that wasn't connected up in the first place. That tight. Okay, got a spark now. Doesn't really do anything. Literally just tighten that over it slightly, maybe it's just... It's not very good. I'm tightening it, there's nothing really tightening. No, I don't want to tighten out. Right. I don't know what size it is, but I can go for whatever that is. See if that's right. That's correct. Does it go tight? I have to bottom it out a little bit, but I mean, the other option is putting a nut on the back, which I don't really want to do, because that'd be a bit fiddly. I might have to. Although that has gone tight. Sorry, it has gone in. Yeah, that's why you can see it on that one now. There's a patch in the centre of it, right where it grips, that it's got it's thread stripped. So I'm going to cut this down. Back in a minute. Right, there's a new screw in. I just made sure it fits the threads, and it does. There you go, that's gone tight now. That's better. So I'll just spin it round again, see if I still got spark. I do. Right. That might be a bit more of a chance of starting now. Get it plugged back in. There you go, straight away. Started. First kick now, it's got spark. Nope. Seems to have way too much petrol. Yeah, I've got oily petrol dripping off the bottom. Out the exhaust even. It might just be the amount of fuel that went in it last time. Can try and rev it and clear it out. Turn the fuel off, and then all of a sudden it revs as it drains it down. Obviously it's getting way too much. Right, the only thing that can be, because it's dripping fuel out of the carb, is a little floaty thing isn't floating. So I'm going to try some miraculous screwdrivers, getting the carb top off. That wrong way around. It's got a little Venturi affair on the end. I'll try that the opposite way because I don't know which way it came out, and I vaguely remember it should be that way. But I thought that's the way it was. Let's try it again. No, didn't make any or much difference. Yeah, there's way too much fuel out, it's just pouring out on the floor. Yep. Yeah, they do come off. Okie dokie. Fuel's off. Now there's not very much to them. Got these two screws that hold the float on, and when the float fills it allows fuel through. It's probably obviously letting way too much through because it's flooding it. I'm just wondering why. Did I put it together wrong? Is that stuck? Float's not cracked or anything. Yeah, it seems to stop the fuel. Maybe I hadn't had it quite seated properly. The sun shining in my face, it's a tiny little carb. I ain't got my glasses on. Excuses, eh? Yeah, that moves. Right, that's got fuel coming out now. Right, that's not dripping now. I think that might be a problem. Might have cured it. Oh, that's a little bit better than it was. a lot better than it was. So it's actually pulling me up the road here. Yeah, that's a lot better. It's actually got a little bit of power now. I don't have to pedal it all the time. But before, first time I drove it, off-road it, you couldn't pedal it at all, the chain snapped. Let's have another quick go. Didn't go that bad really, considering 45cc, 1.2 horsepower when it was new. Probably not running quite as well as it should be, but I'm pleased with that. That's good enough for me. As I say, it's not going on the road, but it picks up a lot better than it did. It runs a lot smoother than it did. Hasn't got that misfiring spluttery bit that it had before, and it was just massively over fueling. So yeah, that'll do me. Pedal, pedal, pedal. Right. I think that's turned out quite well. Yeah, it might need a bit more fettling in the future, but at the moment I've got a trailer to build. I've finished building. Now I've built this, I can position it on, so where I put the tie down points I fasten it on and weld all that together. I've done a bit of video on that so far, and obviously I'll get a bit more done as I progress with it, but I'll call that one done for now. I'll get some photos of it with the trailer and with the Waterberg. I'll build the tow bar for that as well, and that's it done. Thanks for watching. If you've made it this far, thank you very much. Hopefully getting a chain guard for it soon, and then yeah, that'll be it done. Looks a lot better than it did, and something different. Thanks very much.